What's up? It's your boy Ricardo Wallace. Some know me as Rick Rico. Some know me as Prince Rico. And some know me as many other names. No, but anyway, on a serious note, I got a book called Confessions About Relationships coming out. This ain't really a video to get you to buy it. This is really just something I'm giving some information about, and also giving you some facts about relationships. Basically, I don't really like to call myself opinion or anything because I feel like what I say is fact. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got opinion, but I believe that if you have a prayer life and you actually speak to God about certain things, I'm a firm believer that God speaks to you back, whether it's through voice, a small voice, a small still voice, or it's just things you learn. He uses life to learn, to teach you though, to help you learn. But anyway, the first question that I normally get all the time is, what's the most important thing to make a relationship be successful? And this might sound cliche, this might be a scapegoat to answer a question, but the most simple answer to that is God. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna make this real quick. I'm gonna take an example of a relationship with God and a relationship that have God as its foundation, and a relationship that's just based on human, between attraction in a normal way. Okay, the typical man or whatever, the hookup is, as your name, whatever, y'all go out, whatever, y'all hook up, okay, cool. You get to know each other, whatever, and then, you love this person, you eventually start to feel feelings for them, and then, you either get married or y'all in a long-term relationship or whatever. But, sad to say, everything in this world without God, and I'm gonna tell you this, I would tell somebody this a million times, without God, anything that's not built by God, it's in vain. It's temporary. I mean, it might last for years, but eventually some will leave. And you might say, well, there's a lot of people that ain't saved or that don't know God, that their relationships last forever, or it seems like they together for 20, 30 years. But ask yourself this: how many years do you think they was happy? Just because somebody together for a long period of time doesn't mean they was always happy with each other, and not happy with each other, but happy, just happy overall. You can be with somebody for so long and get used to them and don't even want to be seen no more. You just forget it. I stick with them. There's a lot of relationships in marriages is like that. There's a lot of people sleep in the same bed but don't love each other, or the love is gone. And there's probably a lot of them admit that. The most longest marriage you see now are the ones that was back in the 60s and 70s. I'm talking about the old-fashioned marriages. That love was really in the air. Now these days, everything is perverted. You see people married for 3 months, 3 days, and different stuff because it's a gimmick. Marriage is a gimmick. Relationships is gimmicks now. It's just cheesy. That's what people think, but God made it originally to be lasting, forever, healthy, loyal, you know what I'm saying? So the difference with relationship with God and the difference with relationship without God is temporary. Everything without God is temporary. I don't care how the wedding was, I don't care how the relationship is going now. Everything gets old without God. God, He redeems things. And when I'm telling you, you say, well, it don't seem like, no, it gets old, I'm telling you. Because everything in life gets old, if you think about it. When you make a certain amount of money, guess what? You normally want to make more because you get tired of that certain amount. A human is never satisfied. We always want something else. Even if it's little, it don't always mean money. You might stay somewhere, but 10 years later, you might want to move somewhere else. It's just something in us that always want more. And even in relationships, we want more from each other. But what God does, when you have God in a relationship, it's like a third man. It's you. It's a third person, is what I'm saying. It's you, your woman, or you and your man, and God. And what He does, for example, the difference when you don't have God, when you're in an argument, y'all get over it, you have to get over it, and you might go out, got to leave somewhere, but what God do, He actually deal with two people. He be that, hey, man, you gotta do, this is what God do, He put in your heart, you gotta go and hug him and say you're sorry. You gotta be the man to stand up and say sorry. See, God put that on a man's heart to do that to his woman, and then at the same time, while He's working on a man, God is working on a woman, saying, He loves you. You know what I'm saying? God, He's like a relationship, the perfect relationship counselor, when he's in it. When two people have a relationship with him, he'll make sure your relationship is good, and he'll make sure it lasts. When it comes to love, when it comes to even sex, when it comes to, and let me get this straight, God's plan, overall plan is marriage. And it just leads to that. It's a relationship without covenant, God can't really support, because he's a covenant God. He's a promise. He's a God that's built on promise. Everything he say is a promise automatic, because he can't lie. So he wants everything else to be like that, even including people's relationships. So that's the reason why marriage is important. A promise is important, because God is a promise God, and he supports that. And so the thing about it, it lasts forever. And you might ask yourself, well, what about the ones that's in church? Part of the biggest divorce rate is in church, and which is sad. But let me give you a fact about this. I asked God that one time. I was just talking to him, being straight up, and I asked, I said, give me an answer. Why do people have divorce and they in church? Because a lot of them came together by me. A lot of people think that that's your wife or your husband because he saved you and you saved, or you know God and I know God, so guess what? We make a good match. Nah, that ain't always the case. God might have somebody that you should have waited for, to be with. But even the Bible says if you're dealing with lust and you can't handle it, just go and get married. Because God would rather for you to be under covenant rather than just be sleeping around and messing around. So, but that doesn't mean he's always with that. He's just doing it because you can't deal with the lust, And so he's trying to save you from being under, his bad eye or hell or whatever. So he said he encouraged the person, go and get married if you can't. But it's still that specific person he got for you. But if you can't wait, then you will settle with somebody that you rushed in, and then consequences apply. Does that mean you realize that this ain't God and want a divorce? No. God hates divorce. You just got to make it work, and you got to live with that consequence. At the same time, ask God to come bring restoration there. Lord, you step up with me first. So basically, that's the difference. The relationship without God is temporary. No matter how good it starts, it might start good, it might feel good, but it always got a ticking. It's like a ticking clock. It doesn't always mean that you break up with the person. It doesn't always mean a person actually cheat. It's just the love can just dull down, where it's just, there she go again. I gotta go back. It's bored. It gets bored. Where God, he keeps it everlasting. Every day it's waking up like new. So what's a new way I can love him? What's the new way you can love him? It'd be just something new, and then just keeping God incorporated in it. It keeps the relationship lasting. So that's the first thing. The most important thing about relationship is God. All right. Affections about relationships. That's the book. Love God Answers. I love y'all. All right. Peace in. Peace out. Follow me, Prince Rick Rico. Twitter. Yeah.